Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another Mad Meta Magic, where we try to make the magic meta mad. Now, Dave redeemed a redemption on Twitch for me to play U-Tron, so I'm playing his most recent U-Tron list, which looks suspiciously like the list I told him to build at the end of the last U-Tron video, but you know... The main addition here is we changed the mana base... Wait a minute. This isn't right. Oh, I'm missing an island. That's what it is. It's like, why is there only 59 cards? Probably because I was clicking wildly. That looks better. Okay. The main addition is we dropped the Prismatic Vista out of the mana base, changed it out for an island, and out of the sideboard we have the addition of Environmental Sciences, which is a tiny bit of life gain and can help us make our land drops. It is also a tutor for the wastes if for some reason we needed it. And other than that, I think this is the exact same list. So without any further ado, I'll see you guys in round one. Alright, we will be on the play for round one versus an unknown opponent, and I think this hand is fine. We will keep. Slightly awkward because... we both want to play Talisman of Dominance to go for a turn 3 Thought Knot and leave up Remand on turn 2. So, based on how our opponent starts, is going to determine which line we take. If they're a deck that Remand is not particularly good against our opponent, we'll probably go for the Thought Knot Seer play. If they're Blitz or something like that, and of course they are. Put a Crack's Bauble. Plays a Steam Vents tapped. We untap, they draw a card. We draw another Remand. I actually think without a turn 1 threat, we're fine to leave up Remand here. Opponent plays Fiery Islet. They play Soulscar Mage. I will Remand that. We draw Ugin. Opponent plays Soulscar Mage. Sure. We untap, draw an island. Play an island, play Talisman of Dominance. Pass the turn. I want to see if they'll play another 1-mana threat, so that's why I'm not playing out the Blast Zone yet. Also, this way I can... well, I suppose I could have the other way as well. Left up blue mana without having to use Talisman. Opponent, gonna cast Manamorphose. This is fine. We're more likely to want to remand whatever they play next, especially if it's a Stormwing entity. If it is a Stormwing entity, we remand it, and then we can Thought Knot to nab it. Swift Spear. Yeah, I'll let that resolve. They're gonna remand Bauble. Or, they're gonna cast Bauble. We're not going to remand Bauble. I tried to say two different things at the same time. My bad. Okay, they crack Bauble, look at our top deck. They go to combat, attack us for 5. We take 5, go to 15. Untap, they draw a card. We draw another tower. I could play an Activate Blast Zone, but then I can't cast Remand. I could play Thought Knot Seer, but then I also can't cast Remand. I think we play Thought Knot Seer this turn. They'll probably have to spend resources trying to kill it, and we might be able to get like a Lava Dart or something out of them. Oh my god. So we take Expressive Iteration. Then I'm going to play an island. Pass the turn. It's good to know that my opponent only has 1-mana threats right now. Hopefully this Blast Zone will be enough. Next turn we can play Blast Zone and have Remand. Play and activate, I should say. Opponent's probably going to lead on Expressive Iteration. Try and hit that third land. They're going to lead on Opt. Okay. They go to combat. They attack for 4. They could Lava Dart us, 5, 6, 7. Mutagenic Growth, 8, 9, 10, 11. Flashback Lava Dart, 12, 13 if we don't block. But if we do block, our opponent gets to draw. I don't think they can kill us unless they drew another Mutagenic Growth, so we're going to let this happen. Okay, opponent Lava Darts us, as anticipated. I guess they could have, like, land Lightning Bolt. Yeah, there's the Mutagenic Growth. All of this we knew of. They flashback Lava Dart. Did I math wrong? We go to 1. We draw a Divide by 0. The opponent used a Lava Dart. They used a Mutagenic Growth. Play Blast Zone. Activate it. Go to combat. Hit them for 4. They go to 11. Untap. But it probably just tries to Lava Dart for lethal. We remand it. We draw a Repeal. We untap. We draw Expedition Map, play Tower, play Map, go to combat, hit them for 4, pass the turn, opponent untaps, they're going to Lava Dart again, We divide by 0. We get environmental science. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Look at how good this is. Oh, we're going to get Urza's Mine, untap. We draw Karn, play Urza's Mine, play environmental science, get out of the danger zone, go to combat. Hit them for 4. They go down to 1. I could play Karn and wish for Chalice. I suppose I didn't need to cast environmental science there. In fact, if I had just played Karn, it would have been better. Leave up Repeal, pass the turn. They have to have land Lightning Bolt. Painless land Lightning Bolt to win. But yes! Divide by 0 was good. It was just another remand, but it was still good. We'll bring in Spatial Contortion, and Aether Gust. I am going to cut Remand, Divide by 0, and I think another Remand. I think Condescend is better in this matchup, and I may need Tormod Script. We'll see. Alright. I am going to keep this because this is a turn 1 Chalice of the Void. We are going to dump Expedition Map to Gemstone Caverns, I think. Because we would like the 3 mana that we have in hand, and it's unlikely that we'll need to draw extra card, or we'll need to tutor for a specific land with this hand. Alright, opponent did mulligan to 5, which is good news for us. They lead on Soulscar Mage. They play Bauble. I don't know why they're doing it this turn, I guess to get the draw. They look at the top card of our deck, we draw Karn. Play Island, Chalice, turn 1. Pass the turn, and the great thing about this is, if our opponent plays nothing that we need to remand, we can repeal the Soulscar Mage and they can't replay it. They Mutagenic Growth, which gets countered. Then they play Stormwing Entity. Okay? Unfortunately, we can't remand that, but they do get to go Scrying. They put both cards to the bottom and hit us for 2. We untap, we draw Eldrazi Temple. So, play Eldrazi Temple. And I think I'm just going to remand this now. Okay, we draw Divide by 0, so we should be able to put that Stormwing Entity back in our opponent's hand. This seems good, actually. Opponent hits us for 3. They have some other spells to cast for prowess triggers. They're taking an awful lot of damage. Wear. They do have Wear for Chalice. Okay. We untap and draw Walking Ballista. Play Wastes. I could play Karn and get Trinisphere. It doesn't seem bad. My opponent is holding Soulscar Mage 1 unknown. I think I'm going to pass and put Stormwing Entity in my opponent's hand on their end step. My opponent's mana base is super painful right now. Okay, so they have Swift Spear. That's fine. They go to combat. They attack for 4. Put this back in their hand. They have Spell Pierce? Okay. Yeah, we can't pay for Spell Pierce. We get hit for 6. The last card in hand is Soulscar Mage. We draw Tower. Play Tower. I could just play out Walking Ballista as a way to kill this Swift Spear. I think we probably play the Karn, though. Play the Karn. Wish. We'll get Ensnaring Bridge. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Alright, so they cycle a Fiery Islet and then play Soulscar. They attack us for 4. They're leaving Karn alone. I really hope we draw land. If we draw land, we're at a great place. They gotta not have anything here, though, because if they have Mutagenic Growth, we're dead. Why? Why do they always have to have Mutagenic Growth? Even the turn 1 Chalice wasn't good enough. I still don't think I want Dismember here. It might be better than something, but being on the play, does that change things? I'm actually going to drop Tormod Script and bring the other Divide by 0 back in. Run it back. Alright, so we're on the play for game 3. This hand is awful. This hand is okay-ish. The problem is, I think I've got to put back Divide by 0. Wormcoil Engine is a long way away, and we'll only have the redraw off of Repeal. I could put back an Urza's Tower, and we could try and go for Tron, but... Alright, I'm going to put back Urza's Tower. Lead on Urza's Tower, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Steam Vents tapped. That's good news-ish. We draw Talisman of Dominance. Play an island. Play the Talisman. Pass the turn. The reason I'm doing this is because if my opponent does end up playing multiple 1-drops, I could play Blast Zone to take care of all of them. I suspect my opponent is going to go Manamorphose into Stormwing Entity, which I am just going to immediately Divide by 0 to put back in their hand, Because if they're playing Spell Pierce, I don't want to give them the opportunity to cast it. They cast where? That seems pretty weak. We draw a Thought-Knot Seer, which we can no longer play, but pass the turn. Hopefully Repeal can get us to a land, or Divide by Zero. I mean, Divide by Zero can technically get us to a land, it's just in a bit of a roundabout way. They are 3 colors. Interesting. We untap. We draw Ugin. Pass the turn. Shouldn't have put back that land, getting maximum punished again. Opponent is going to flash in Brazen Borrower. Divide by 0. I don't want them to have the tempo of being able to swing yet. I'll take Environmental Sciences. Pass the turn. I was wondering what was going on. Brazen Borrower is a pretty good threat against us. I'm really hoping that I draw a land so I can play Thought-Knot. Opponent bolts our face, so here comes the Stormwing. Okay. Alright, we untap. Draw wastes. Okay. Play Thought-Knot. We're probably taking Brazen Borrower. They have Wear and Tear, Mutagenic Growth, and Brazen Borrower. Take Brazen Borrower. Wear and Tear and Mutagenic Growth are annoying, but it wouldn't be the end of the world here. Opponent plays a Fiery Islet. We knew about that. They full price a Stormwing entity. Okay. We need 2 more mana to be able to repeal anything. We get hit for 3. Untap. We draw Karn. So I can Environmental Science and have repeal up to X2. Or I can play Karn. I think we've got to make our land drops this turn. So go get an island. Play the island. And I'm going to... if I attack, they just... Yeah, we're going to force them to use Mutagenic Growth if they want to block. They take it. Okay. Opponent untaps. They cycle Fiery Islet? Okay, they play Sprite Dragon. Now they cycle Fiery Islet, so put that back in their hand. Okay, we draw another Thought-Knot Seer, which is something we can play next turn, regardless. They play Bauble. That's bad for us, because that's 8 damage. They crack Bauble. They attack us for 8. Mutagenic Growth for 12. We go to 4. They untap and draw. We draw Gemstone Caverns. I don't think there's anything I can do. I can't wish for anything that flies. I don't have enough mana for Ensnaring Bridge. I can't play Ugin. Relic doesn't matter. Thought-Knot, it doesn't matter what we take from them because they still have lethal. We can play Wormcoil, but it can't block. Alright, we lost. Lame. Now, it might seem a little bit insane, but I am leaning towards this card should be banned because it's showing up in so many decks, right? It's just like, I am so tired of seeing Bauble. And this is coming from a man who owns a playset of Bauble and never plays them. Alright, well, see you guys in round 2. Alright, we'll be on the play for round 2, and this hand is not keepable. This one might be, but is questionable. I'm going to put back a Remand. Hopefully Chalice is good against a Luris deck. Okay. Lead on Urza's Mine, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They mulled to 4, and they're playing blue, so it's probably mill. Play Urza's Tower. Play Chalice on 1. Pass the turn. It could be Grixis, Death Shadow. Opponent plays Watery Grave. Untapped. Chronic Flooding. We untap. Draw an island. Play an island. Pass the turn. I don't know what I'm against, and it might be mill. Ruin Crab into the Chalice. Opponent plays a Field of Ruin. We untap. We draw Condescend. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. This is definitely mill. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Remand. We draw Expedition Map. Untap. We draw an island. Play an island. Play map. Because I'm dumb. Totally forgot about my own Chalice. Pass the turn. It's actually super bad because now I have to tap the Chronic Flooding land. Opponent is going to Chronic Flooding another land. I'm going to go ahead and tell him no. So we have to mill. Mine Cyclonic Rift Island. There's a power plant. So Ballista to the bottom, power plant to the top. Opponent passes. We untap. Draw power plant. What do we get here? What is the best thing we can get against our opponent? Play power plant. Play Karn, Great Creator. We have 5 mana left. I guess it's Liquid Metal Coating. It's just that's kind of boring. I could get Trinosphere, but let's get Coating. Play Coating. Pass the turn. Stop on my opponent's upkeep. Shut off Watery Grave, because that's their only black mana source. Okay. Opponent draws. They play a Watery Grave, so here comes Glimpse the Unthinkable. Mind Funeral. Okay. We mill a bunch. So they're still holding Glimpse the Unthinkable. Don't you want to use this card last because of, like, milling more lands? Okay, I'm going to bounce Chronic Flooding, just to draw. We mill 3. Karn, Great Creator, Talisman of Dominance, and Gemstone Caverns. Draw Expedition Map. Untap. We draw an Urza's Mine. Play Urza's Mine. I kind of want to get Trinisphere. Kind of also want to wish for another Chalice and put it on 2. I think I'm going to do that. Play another Chalice. Play Wormcoil. Pass the turn. Stop on my opponent's turn. Shut off a Watery Grave. My opponent cannot play 1 or 2 drops. Okay. Chronic Flooding gets Chaliced, and the game is over. Interesting. I think I get rid of Meteor Golem and Ballista and bring in Spatial Contortions. Actually, I think I bring in the Dismembers to have 1-mana answers to crabs. Our life total shouldn't matter that much. We'll run it back. Alright, on the draw, this hand is probably okay. It's not amazing. Opponent leads on Island. Crab? Crab. Okay. We untap and draw Treasure Mage. Play Mine and Map. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Crab. Alright, this is pretty bad. They play a Fetch Land. Mill us for 6. They crack their Fetch Land. They shock Watery Grave. Mill us for 6 more. Then they pass. We untap and draw an Island. Getting Surgical on our draw step. Or not. Play an Island, play Talisman. I'm doing this because I like 100% need to Blast Zone next turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Field of Ruin. They mill us for a bunch. They hit our Mine. We get an Island. They mill us for a bunch. I would map for Eldrazi Temple, but it is in the grave. I can Condescend X1. That at least forces them to use their last bits of mana here. The Scry would not be relevant. Maybe it's just better to map. I think it's better to map. We'll go map and get Tower. Get milled for 13. 12 cards left in our deck. We don't have any reshuffles. Play Blast Zone. Kill the crabs. Pass the turn. Yeah, I think we've lost this one. Opponent plays Field. They just tried to field us, so I'm going to play an Island next turn. Never mind, I'm just going to go ahead and concede. Okay. Run it back. Alright, we would like to play first. Well, it's Tron, but nothing to do with it. I guess we still keep... We might get absolutely blown out by Field of Ruin and Archive Trap, but I don't think we map for an Island. It's kind of hoping to draw Karn, Great Creator. Play map. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Opponent plays Island. Crab. We untap. We draw Mine. I think I'm actually going to play Talaria West here. Pass the turn. So we're going to get milled. They play Sheldock Isle. At least it's not a fetch land. We get to hide away something. They mill us for 3. They do mill Tower. That's pretty bad. If they have Surgical, we are probably pretty boned. We untap. We draw Thirst for Knowledge. Play Tower. Pass the turn. We'll probably Thirst for Knowledge if my opponent doesn't do anything too scary. Visions of Beyond is just a cantrip. That's fine. Opponent untaps. Mesmeric Orb. Yeah, we're gonna Thirst. Discard an Expedition Map. So we're gonna get milled for a few here. So we untap. We do mill Wormcoil Engine. Yeah, we were just drawing nothing. Players is mine. Let's go ahead and well, there's no reason to do this at sorcery speed. Pass the turn. They might have an even more relevant spell we need to divide by 0. Okay. Opponent plays a Hedron Crab. They play a Watery Grave, untapped. Mill us for 6. I do have a plan. It's not fantastic. So I'm going to map for Blast Zone. They probably have got archive traps. So get Blast Zone. Of course, we get milled for 13. Okay. Let's put the Mesmeric Orb back in their hand. Man, I almost wish this could learn Fractal Summoning right now. Okay, opponent doesn't want us to do that. They only have 2 cards left in their hand. We untap, mill Ugins, and Condescends. Play Blast Zone. Kill the crabs. Pass the turn. I don't know how many threats we have left. I think we are out of Karn Great Creators, yep. So that's kind of a big deal. So they are running Surgical. I've got a suspicion that they're trying to sneak whatever's under that Shelldock Isle against a counterspell. I mean, I have to Thirst here, but... So we're going to discard Gemstone Caverns and Urza's Mine. Then we untap, mill some stuff, draw another Thought Knot, play Tower, play Thought Knots here. Biggest issue right now is that stupid Mesmeric Orb, which I think all of our bounce spells are gone now. Opponent's going to cast whatever's under Shelldock. It's Drown in the Lock. Condescend for 2. But I don't think we can actually race this Mesmeric Orb. Take a look at their hand. Take Glimpse the Unthinkable. Play Thought Knot Seer. Take Maddening Cacophony. So we're milling 5 this turn. And then we're milling 2 every turn after that for at least 3 turns. So I think we're just dead, yeah. If I had Ballista, I'd have outs, but I took Ballista out of the deck, which may have been a mistake. They are out of cards. Okay. Alright, that's some promise. Maybe. Play the island. Go to combat. Attack for 8. Play Treasure Mage. We have 4 cards left in our deck, and none of them are very good. So our opponent has to not top deck a counterspell here, because we have to cast Cyclonic Rift on their end step. If we cast it at any other point, they can just replay Mesmeric Orb. Yep. Sad. We were close. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 3. Alright, round 3, we will be on the play. This hand is very, very close to being good. Unfortunately, it is not, so we need to mulligan. Also very close, this is like the 1 tap land in our deck, and this is the reason why it's bad. I guess I still have to keep this. We just need to lead on Talaria West. Maybe our opponent thinks we're Amulet Titan. Pass the turn. Opponent leads on an island. We untap. Draw Eldrazi Temple. Play an island. Pass the turn. So we're going to try and remand whatever they play. If they play anything on their own turn. And then Thought Knot Seer them. Opponent kept a 1-lander. They discard Fatal Push. Play Eldrazi Temple. Play Thought Knot Seer. This should surprise them. I guess we take Snapcaster from them. Pass the turn. Yeah, 1-land opt, tons of answers, does not strike me as particularly good. We draw a Talisman. Play Urza's Tower. Go to combat. Hit them for 4. Play Talisman. They may just try and Logic Knot or Mana Leak. I don't think we care. Pass the turn. This just makes their Logic Knot better, is all. I mean, up until it gets remanded. They play Glacial Fortress. They do not have Kaya's Guile mana, but they do have Archmage's Charm. Drawers is mine. Players is mine. Go to combat. Hit them for 4. Play Expedition Map. Kind of expect this to get countered. They do not. Alright. Opponent decides they really need to draw cards. So they cast Archmage's Charm. Okay. Opponent untaps. They pass. Activate Expedition Map. Get Power Plant. We untap. Draw Field of Ruin. Play Power Plant. Go to combat. Attack them for 4. Opponent takes 4 and goes to 8. Play Sundering Titan. Opponent's gonna have to Logic Knot here. Remand Logic Knot. This is only bad if they have Force, but they don't. Okay. Versus Control. We don't really have a sideboard, so run it back. Alright, I mean, the Gemstone Caverns is nice, but versus Esper Control, this might be kind of rough. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, I'm gonna put back Walking Ballista. Opponent kept 7. They lead on Flooded Strand. We draw a Thought Knot. Players is mine. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Flooded Strand. They get a Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. They opt. They untap. They shock a Watery Grave. Then they pass. We draw Eldrazi Temple. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They draw. They play Glacial Fortress. Then they pass. We draw Ugin. Players is mine. Pass the turn. Snapcaster for opt. I think I am actually going to condescend this, because I wouldn't mind manipulating my own top decks here. Mystical Dispute Condescend. Okay, they really want to get that Snapcaster down. Sure. They target opt, but they can't cast it. They untap. Play an island. So they're going to have Cryptic mana now. They hit us for 2. We untap and draw Field of Ruin. Play Talisman of Dominance. Want to see if this will draw a counterspell. Really? Okay. Play Field. Chalice on 1. We'll get rid of the paths, the pushes, the opts. I don't think countering random mana rocks is where you want to be if you're playing Esper Control versus U-Tron. If my opponent wins, I'll be a little bit salty, because this seems like some loose plays. I also think countering this counterspell on the Snapcaster there was wrong, but that's just me. Opponent Archmage's Charm to draw cards. Plays Polluted Delta. We untap, draw an island, play Eldrazi Temple, play Thought Knot. I mean, they probably have a counterspell that works here. Their deck is roughly 80% counterspells. They don't. Interesting. They have Fatal Push, Force Negation, Teferi. Take Teferi. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play Polluted Delta. They're going to play whatever they just drew. Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. They're going to unsummon Chalice, which will let them push Thought Knot. That's kind of annoying. They get to draw a card. They hit us for 2. We untap and draw Thirst for Knowledge. Lead on Island. Play Chalice. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want my card advantage spell to resolve. So we Thirst for Knowledge. Okay, so opponent drew a Logic Knot. Yep. That's annoying. We know they're still holding Force of Negation, and all of our counter spells are moot because of Teferi. This would be a much more interesting game if Teferi didn't exist. Opponent attacks us for 2, we go to 12. Untap and draw Karn. Play Karn. Directly into Force. We have nothing we can use to preemptively protect Karn at all, so we just kind of have to let all this stuff happen. I'm just going to uptick Teferi to 3. Hit us for 2, we go down to 10. Draw Treasure Mage. Play Treasure Mage. Search our library. I guess we get Worm Coil because it's the only one we can actually cast. Pass the turn. I mean, they just can Teferi bounce it if they want, but... Is this a Sphinx's Rev? Shark Typhoon, okay. Yeah, that sucks, because there's nothing we could do about that. They can just attack us for 5 in the air, and then attack us for 5 in the air. They draw land, they play it. They uptick Teferi to 4. If I draw Divide by 0, it might work. We untap. We draw Remand, which is not the card I asked for, and we lose. Yeah, run it back. Alright, we'll play first. This hand is okay. We will keep. Lead on Island, Expedition Map. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Flooded Strand. We untap. Draw Thought Knot Seer. Play Gemstone Caverns. Pass the turn. Alright. Opponent cracks Flooded Strand. Gets a Watery Grave tapped. They untap and draw They play Drowned Catacomb, pass the turn. Okay, let's go get Eldrazi Temple. Untap, draw Karn, play Eldrazi Temple, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play Castle Vantress. And pass. We untap. Draw Talisman. Play Talisman. This is not a bad mana rock counter, but only because we don't have another land in hand. If we did, and they counter this, it would definitely be wrong. Okay. Pass the turn. If we had a land, it would be so good against our opponent. They play a Plains. Pass. We draw Sundering Titan. Well, they're drawing lands and we aren't. So we have to pass, because if they land a Teferi next turn, we are just done. Archmage's Charm to draw. Yeah, we gotta let it resolve. As much as I would normally be countering card advantage spells, they play Glacial Fortress. Why would you do this? Why would you cast into open mana on your own turn here? That just seems not correct. Okay, Expedition Map to the bottom, Blast Zone to the top. You saw me pause on your Archmage's Charm and choose not to do anything. It's not like I didn't have a counter. That seems really questionable. Maybe they're okay with a Thought-Knot Seer? They may have Force, in which case we're not going to cast Karn. Play Thought-Knot Seer. Snapcaster, 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 Mystical Dispute, Force of Negation. Take Force of Negation. Pass the turn. They untap. They shock Watery Grave. We untap. Draw Meteor Golem. Play Walking Ballista on 1. Opponent is going to Mystical Dispute the Walking Ballista. I almost want to remand the Dispute here, or remand the Walking Ballista. Let's remand the Walking Ballista. They drew another counter. Alright, go to combat. Hit him for 4. Well, opponent has Snapcaster Mages plus a million counter spells in grave. Tormod's Crypt would be a great top deck. That might actually force them to counter a 0 mana artifact. That'd be sweet. We draw an island. So, play an island. Go to combat. Attack them for 4. Okay, they're going to cycle a Shark Typhoon that is just big enough to trade. And they do trade. They get to draw. Play Karn. Wish. And let's get... Oh, we don't have Grafdigger's Cage. Relic. Play Relic. Exile a card from their grave. Pass the turn. If we had Grafdigger's Cage, it would have been so much better there. I mean, if we'd had one more mana and we got Liquid Metal Coating, it'd be even more insane, but... Opponent plays Flooded Strand, cracks it immediately. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they main phase Snapcaster into Archmage's Charm to draw cards. Okay, Little Teferi. They bounce Relic. Okay. We untap. Draw an island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play an island. Play Relic. Are you really going to fight over this? I don't think that's correct. There's a ton of things I could wish for that would make your life hell. Unless you drew your third Force of Negation? I was going to say, because the only thing you could Snapcaster back is Logic Knot. And you'd have to dump your entire grave into that. And I could still pay for it if I wanted it. Okay. So you're going to Logic Knot this for your whole grave? No. So we're going to cycle Relic. Okay, we draw Condescend. And we wish. We're going to get Ballista. Play Ballista. Pass the turn. Okay. So I think that was way more reasonable than actually casting Logic Knot there. That had me concerned for my opponent's well-being, because I was like, that's not a good play. It just kind of made me crack Relic, which we were planning on doing anyway. So, okay, opponent upticks Teferi to 2. They play a Glacial Fortress. They go to combat. Attack Karn. Ping Snapcaster. We untap. Really hoping we draw a land. There we go. Play a land. Uptick Karn, no targets. Go to combat. Attack Teferi. Attempt to add a counter. So now they're going to flash Snapcaster Mage. Okay. They can't block. You have to play a creature in the attacker's phase if you want to be able to block with it. This man's been playing Esper Control so long, he doesn't know how to block with creatures. uh, yep. Okay. Pass the turn. Let's activate Castle Vantress. That makes sense to me. So now that they've tapped out of using their other Snapcaster, we'll kill this one so they can't attack with it. Pass the turn. Now my opponent would have had a good play if they had flashed Snapcaster on the attacker's phase. Because yeah, I had Condescend, but it didn't really matter all that much. We're getting Thought Seized. That's fine. You can take whatever you want. You can even Snapcaster back that Thought Seize if you'd like. Alright, they play Snapcaster Mage. They're gonna Thought Seize me again. Maybe. You got it. Okay, they take Treasure Mage. That tells me they probably have a counter spell for our bigger Meteor Golem, which we can cast. Untap. We draw an Urza's Tower. I could blow up 3 of their lands if I could resolve Sundering Titan this turn. I think it's worth trying. Play Sundering Titan. Maybe I should have let on Meteor Golem first. Logic Knot X1. Okay. Can't pay for it. So, uptick Karn. Pass the turn. They only have 1 card in their hand, so they're top decking. They did get to Castle Vantress, though, so... They draw Polluted Delta. They go to combat. They attack Karn for 2. This is fine. Karn goes to 1. We untap. Draw Repeal. Uptick Karn. Play Meteor Golem. Their last card is a counterspell. Snapcaster for Logic Knot. Okay. That's actually pretty bad for us. That's the 4th Snapcaster, so I wasn't really expecting that to be a thing. Okay, they delve X2. We can't pay for it. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Polluted Delta for an island. They can activate Castle Vantress. I'm gonna have to see what they do with it here. No attacks. So they go scrying. They put both cards to the bottom. Then they untap. They draw blindly. They go to combat. They attack Karn. So we move to block 1 of them. We don't have any real good threats to wish for, other than maybe our other Ballista. I'm going to actually repeal this Ballista. If they try and counter this, we just ping the other one and then wish for another Ballista. Otherwise we lose Karn here. Alright, we drew another tower, Karn down. Opponent has 1 unknown card, and we have a reband. Play tower. Whoop. Play Ballista. Opponent activating Castle Vantress to go scrying. If they have Cryptic in their hand, I think I remand Ballista. Okay. Kill Snapcaster. Kill Snapcaster. Pass the turn. Don't know how relevant it is, but I got a remand. Opponent plays a land. They have removal. Esper Charm, draw mode. I'm actually going to remand this because I would like to draw a card too, and this uses more of their mana. We get Thirst for Knowledge. Okay, so opponent gets to draw 2 cards. Then they gain control of our Walking Ballista like a jerk. They crack Polluted Delta and get a Watery Grave tap. We untap. We draw for turn. Hey, we have our own Walking Ballista. Hang on. If I play Karn, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5 mana left over. And get a Ballista on 2, kill Ballista, and ping them. I actually think I do this. As stupid as it is. Alright. Wish. Get Walking Ballista. Play Ballista on 2. We can ping their Ballista, and then they can use their Ballista to ping our Ballista. And then we ping them. Oh, they just let it happen. Okay, they were apparently F6'd. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They draw. They play Flooded Strand, and they are passing. They have to have removal or they're dead, because we can just go all in on countering up this Ballista. We draw a map, counter on Ballista, go to combat, attack for 3. Oh, it's a Shark Typhoon. Okay, that matters. A lot. Because this shark is huge. Yep. It's a 7/7. So we're going to have to wish for Worm Coil Engine. Opponent blocks. Ping you. Ping you. Ping you. Go to our second main. That was pretty good. I mean, they had to have removal or they had to have that, so go ahead and wish, because Karn's gonna die anyway. Get Worm Coil. Play map. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Flooded Strand, goes down to 2. Gets Hollowed Fountain tapped. They untap. They are scrying on their own upkeep. They draw a card. They play a land. They kill Karn. We untap. Draw mine. Play mine. Play Worm Coil Engine. Pass the turn. They untap. They scry on their upkeep. They opt. I think they need a path here. They play a land. They play a lot of lands, it seems. They go to combat, and they pass. So we thirst for knowledge. Dovin's Veto. Sure. Okay, we untap. On our upkeep, let's go get Power Plant, I think. Actually, no. If we've got it still in the deck, we get Talaria West, because we have Engineered Explosives, which kills our opponent. Yes. So Talaria West. We draw. Power Plant. Yeah, we drew it anyway. Transmute. Blue, blue, colorless. We need to play it with... we need to play it for 0. So get Engineered Explosives. Play Power Plant. Play Explosives on 0. Blow up the tokens, swing and kill them. Nice! That was a very long, well-earned grind to win that game. I'll see you guys in round 4. All right. We're against Six Sigma. Here, I'll get out of the way so you can see what I said. It's like, Sigma, what are you doing in the queues? Oh, this is going to be fun. Hang on. Bring this over here. All right, this is a mulligan. This, I think, is technically a keep. It's not a great keep, but we're going to put back Cyclonic Rift. See what he's playing. He says, mull to nothing, Tron boy. Opponent, oh, he's playing Titan Valakut, okay. I should have known. Play Power Plant, play map. Oh, we might not have to reveal to him that we are playing Blue Tron. I should be ashamed of myself, according to him. Oh yeah, well, I'm playing to. You know what? I'm not gonna say. What should I say? Oh yeah, well, go ramp yourself, I guess. All right, we untap. We draw island. Play tower. Pass the turn. Oh, this is good. This is good if we can get to Urza's Mine. And if he doesn't have Lightning Bolt. So he's playing, I think, Transmogrify Titan, which is a problem because he could get us here. We would have to go get Ensnaring Bridge. Yes, this is the Transmog Titan list. Here comes Transmogrify. Indomitable Creativity. So they go get Primeval Titan. And they go get some lands. The problem is Indomitable Creativity can hit our artifacts if he's got another one. So let's go get Urza's Mine. Untap. We draw Condescend. Play Urza's Mine. Play Karn, Great Creator. Wish. Let's get... I think it's gotta be Ensnaring Bridge. Play Ensnaring Bridge. Pass the turn. I'm trying really hard to not show him that I'm Blue-Tron. Okay, we untap. We draw Sundering Titan. Sigma, I'm not sorry. Yep. Okay. How's that triome paying off for you? Pass the turn. We should be out of the danger zone. Okay, opponent plays a Stomping Ground tapped. We untap. That was very close. Like, we were very, very close to dying there. I think we just play Ugin, right? If he has a Lightning Bolt, he can kill Ugin, but like we have to get the Titan off the table. Should we just be upticking Ugin? Play Talaria West. Play Ugin. I could wait for myself to have more mana here, but I think we just play Ugin and start upticking. Pass the turn. Divide by 0, in theory, should be able to protect us. Oh no, Indomitable Creativity. If I tapped out into Indomitable Creativity, I actually just die. Okay, plays an Arid Mesa. He can fetch a mountain and then fetch a Dwarven Mine. He says, hang on, I'm mathing. Oh no! That's never a good sign. Oh crap, actually, if he's got Indomitable Creativity, he could hit Primeval Titan in a token, get Valakut Mountain, Mountain, and that's 3 times 3 is 9 triggers for 3 damage each is 27 damage. If it's Transmogrify, we can live. If it's Indomitable Creativity, we are super dead. Because I decided to tap out for Ugin. Okay. Alright, we should be safe now. We untap and draw Power Plant. Play Power Plant. Uptick Ugin. Pass the turn. And I know he doesn't have any main deck Veil of Summer. At least I hope he doesn't have any main deck Veil of Summer. Renin 6. Okay, this gets him 1 mountain. They pick up the Triome. They play the Triome. I can do something really mean here. If he does go for the Valakut combo, I could divide by 0 my own Sundering Titan and blow up 3 of his lands. Okay, cracking Arid Mesa. Going to 11, getting a Dwarven Mine. Getting a token. Cracking Arid Mesa. Going to 10, getting a Dwarven Mine. Making a token. Indomitable Creativity. So let's go ahead and Condescend X2. Thirst for Knowledge to the bottom. Island the bottom. Pass the turn. We'll go ahead and divide by 0. Getting Introduction to Annihilation. Sundering Titan trigger. Take out 3 lands. Untap. We draw Gemstone Caverns. -6 Ugin. And the game is over. I do not think we were favored there. But I'm glad that worked out for us. So Aether Gust coming in. Do we want Spatial Contortions, Dismembers? We have a really hard time killing Titan. But I think we need the single target creature removal to hit the tokens. Especially the cheap creature removal. We basically just have to be as interactive as possible. Chalice does not seem very useful. Although it could stop our opponent from casting Veil of Summer. We don't need Tormod's Crypt. We might, on a weird off chance, need Engineered Explosives. I don't think we need Meteor Golem. We can probably get by without Cyclonic Rift. And I don't think I want Treasure Mage. We'll try it like this. Oh, man. That was a good game. Alright. It's not great, but it does work. We will keep. I'm going to start Stomping Ground tapped. We untap. Draw a second tower. Not really what I wanted to see. Play Mine. Pass the turn. Okay, they Farseek. Getting Ketria Triome. We untap. Draw an island. Play an island. Pass the turn. So they can't just go for Indomitable Creativity here. Off of a token. They explore. They play Dwarven Mine. The only problem is if I play out Ballista... Okay, so there's a few different ways this can resolve. If I play out Ballista on 1 and ping down the Dwarf token, that's fine and all if they have Transmogrify. Second Dwarven Mine. This is actually what I'm afraid of. Because if they've got Indomitable Creativity, we are screwed. Or if they have Veil of Summer plus Creativity. Alright, you can have the 1/1s. They play Valakut. We untap. Draw Karn. Play Tower. Pass the turn. We're probably going to have to Thirst for Knowledge here. Hopefully they don't have Indomitable Creativity plus Veil. Dwarven Mine number 3. Not what I anticipated. But in general, I think this is actually a good thing, because this means probably no Creativity or Transmogrify or Titan. Alright, Thirst for Knowledge, looking for Power Plant. Expedition map is Power Plant, but I'd have to give up Ballista for that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and discard Ballista. Untap. We draw Urza's Mine. Play a redundant tower. Play map. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Goes to combat. Attacks us for 3. We take 3 and go to 12. They play Bloodstained Mire, so they have a Pocket Bolt here. Let's go get Power Plant. We untap. Draw Condescend. We have nothing to make ourselves hexproof. Liquid Metal Coating is going to be too slow. So I think what we do is play Power Plant. Play Ugin. Minus... Actually, is it X or less? Okay. -0 Ugin. Okay. Pass the turn. We have Remand, but that may not be good enough. That's only good enough if they play a double green spell. 6 red mana, Chandra Awakened Inferno. Alright, that's a problem. Let's go ahead and Condescend X0. And get some Scries in. Dismember Island, both to the bottom. Okay, Chandra resolves. Stomping Ground. They have a bolt. They bolt Ugin. They can fetch with Bloodstained Mire and bolt Ugin again. And then they can -1 Chandra to kill him. I think they're running out of mountains. Okay. We untap. Draw Blast Zone. Lead on Thought-Knot Seer. Let's check the last 2 cards in their hand. Veil of Summer. Alright. So, players is mine. Play Karn. Wish. And then we need to get Pithing Needle. Play Pithing Needle. Name Chandra. Awakened Inferno. Pass. Oh man, I still think we're like a Primeval Titan from Dead. Okay, Bloodstained Mire. So opponent does have the bolt. They can kill Karn. This is why we got Pithing Needle and not Liquid Metal Coating. Dwarven Mine. So they kill Karn. They get a 1/1. The last card in their hand is Forest. We untap. We draw a Remand. Play an island. Go to combat. Attack our opponent for 4. Pass the turn. That second island is critical here, because then we can remand and then, like, huge Condescend. We know our opponent only could have 1 action spell here. They draw a mountain, they bolt us down to 9. They go to combat, hit us for 1. We go to 8. We untap, draw Dismember. Can't say I'm thrilled about that one. I could remand it if I really wanted to draw a card, but I'd still have to pay the life. Okay, hit our opponent for 4, and I do not want to pay the life. Opponent untaps. They draw. Another Bloodstained Mire. They go to combat. Attack us for 1. We go to 7. We untap. Draw Wormcoil Engine. Okay, Wormcoil Engine is huge. Go to combat. Attack for 4. Take our opponent to 6. Play Wormcoil. Pass the turn. I think we have them deterministically here. They play the Forest. They're passing. We untap. We draw Spatial Contortion. Okay, that just makes it more deterministic. Those were like the best 2 top decks of our life. We had a long time to do it. Oh, I'm sorry, Six Sigma. Whoa, hang on. That's not what I want. Can we put this back? There, we get this back. He says, have I ever mentioned that I hate playing against U-Tron? No, you have not. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. That must have been when you were tastefully ignoring chat. Kind of, I was thinking I was going to have to work harder, but I think really the critical point of that actual match was us Thought-Knot Searing that Veil of Summer, because if Sigma had gotten to retain that Veil of Summer and then drew a Primeval Titan and then was able to Primeval Titan or Veil of Summer preemptively, we would have had to try and counter the Veil of Summer, because that means that he's going to cast a spell that's going to end the game. So we would have had to like remand it, and then we would have had to condescend it, and then they would have been able to cast Primeval Titan or Scapeshift or whatever large multiple land drop threat they had, and we would have lost. So the critical point was that Thought-Knot Seer in that game. All right, well, thanks for the game, Sigma. It was really fun, and I'll see you guys in round 5. All right, we are on the play against on the play, and they reveal Luris. I think this hand is okay. It's not great, but it should work. So I'm going to lead on Power Plant, play Expedition Map, and this may reveal too much information, but I'm going to play Tormod's Crypt. Pass the turn. If I draw an island, I'm not going to play Talisman of Dominance. Oh, it's Burn. Okay. Or it's actually this deck. Come on, island. We draw Meteor Golem. Play Power Plant. Play Talisman. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They draw. They play a mountain. Manamorphose. Alright, this is dangerous. This might be the legendary turn 2 kill. Leonin Lightscribe. It is not the legendary turn 2 kill. Opponent attacks us for 2. Take 2. We go to 18. We draw a mine. Play mine. I think I'm just gonna... Well... No, we'll go ahead and pass. I was gonna say I should probably preemptively repeal, but I have no idea if that's actually the play or not. It only matters if they have something like Apostle's Blessing here. Okay, they play Inspiring Vantage, so they do have 3 lands. They lead on Manamorphose. We only have 1 blue mana. I could remand here and take up their whole turn. We would get a draw. I think repeal is more damage reduction, though, in every scenario. Yeah, alright. We're going on the repeal plan. They had red, red, crash through. More Magecraft triggers. Another Manamorphose. Okay. We kind of want them to go as deep as they possibly can here. Lava Dart us. That's 18 damage, so they have no reason to go any deeper than that. But they're gonna. Okay. So opponent goes to combat. They attack for a lot. So we repeal before we die. They're gonna Lava Dart us now. Okay. Just for a couple more points of damage. We draw Condescend. We get hit for 8 and go to 4. Okay. Expedition map. Go and get us a tower. We untap. We draw Karn, Great Creator. Which I don't think is better here than Meteor Golem. Play Meteor Golem. Kill Leon and Light Scribe. Pass the turn. We have Condescend and Remand now. We risk dying to Lightning Bolt if we cast either one. Okay, opponent leads on Bauble. Cracks Bauble. They play a Bloodstain Mire. They crack Bloodstain Mire. So they're holding Light Scribe, one unknown. They crash through. Or, I mean, they're holding Lumimancer, one unknown. Lumimancer is fine. And now they're passing. We untap. They draw a card. We draw Engineered Explosives, which we can't actually play here. I could wish for a big Walking Ballista. That might be my best bet. The problem is if they have Lightning Bolt and another Lava Dart. Play Karn. Go ahead and wish. We'll get... Wormcoil is definitely better if we can survive. Chalice might actually be the best grab here. I'm going to play Chalice on one. Okay, that way we don't die to Lightning Bolt. Now we pass the turn. I could play and crack Explosives, but then I would go to... Well, actually I probably should have played and cracked Explosives. They can't grant Trample without Crash Through. They play Sunbaked Canyon. They go to combat. They attack. Well, we definitely got a block here. Mutagenic Growth gets countered. Magecraft. They lose Lumimancer. Okay. Boros Charm. Well, Condescend X3. We get to go Scrying. Power Plant to the bottom. Remand to the bottom. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw. Thought Not Seer. Hand check. Take Light up the stage. Wish. Get Wormcoil. Play Wormcoil. An opponent has to top deck a 2-mana burn spell. They have 2 draws to do it. On their upkeep, I'm going to get rid of their grave. I don't think they have a way to buy anything back, but that would be the safer one. They play Sunbaked Canyon. They get 1 more look at a Boros Charm or a Lightning Helix. And we got there. Oh my god. Okay. Spatial Contortions, Dismember, Aether Gust in. You know what? I'm even going to bring in the other Chalice. We're going to go down Meteor Golem, Sundering Titan, Tormod's Crypt, Remand. Try it like this. Okay, this hand is not particularly good versus our opponent's deck, so we're going to mulligan. This hand is like turn 3 Tron plus Repeal, so I'm going to keep. We also have a Dismember, which can be important. So we'll keep, put back a Power Plant. Opponent leads on Bauble, cracks Bauble, plays an Arid Mesa, and passes. We untap, draw Wastes. Players is mine, play Expedition Map. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Arid Mesa. Gets a Sacred Foundry tapped. They untap. They draw a card. They play Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills. They shock Sacred Foundry. They play Light Scribe. We untap, draw Aether Gust. Okay, we kind of have no choice here. Dismember. If they have double Mutagenic Growth, they can save it. Mutagenic Growth, that gets it up to 5 toughness. Mutagenic Growth, okay. Well, I just saved myself 2 damage by doing it on my turn, and potentially my life. Opponent crash throughs. See, this one is not as offensive because it's a 2-mana 2/2 that, you know, like, just basically has prowess most of the time. Like, yeah, it's really powerful if you Ground Rift, but Okay, we untap. We draw Chalice. Play an island. Do we want to Chalice? I think we leave up Repeal, actually. Pass the turn. Because we can get Tron, and then Chalice, and protect it with Repeal and Aether Gust. And we're only going to Repeal if the attacking creatures are lethal. Opponent plays a land. They Lava Dart us. Okay. That's a lot of damage. They only have one card left in hand, though. They Lava Dart us again. They go to combat. They attack for 10. Yeah, this is going to be a Repeal. We draw Thirst for Knowledge. We take 4 and go to 7. Opponent plays Lumimancer and Soulscar. Should have played that Chalice. We untap. Draw Wormcoil Engine. There's only one way for me to leave up Aether Gust this turn, and it's to play Wastes and play Chalice on one. But I think I have to leave up Aether Gust and then Wormcoil next turn. Alright, play Wastes. Chalice on one. Pass the turn. Opponent is Hellbent. They untap. They draw. They go to combat. They attack with everybody. Oh no! Is it a Boros Charm? Wow, that's really strong. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's lethal by itself. So I have to Aether Gust Soulscar Mage to stay alive. Then they have to draw. They have to draw a land or put Soulscar Mage on top. I just add red white. Porter. We go to 1. We untap. We draw Eldrazi Temple. Map for tower. Play tower. Play Wormcoil. We have to. They have to have nothing they can play this turn, and they have to draw nothing. Opponent untaps. Now we have to dodge Boros Charm and Lightning Helix. We can block and gain life. Unless they're playing Warlord's Fury in addition to Crash Through. Or they have Ground Rift. If they Ground Rift us, we're dead. We untap. We draw an island. Play an island. Thirst for Knowledge. We discard an artifact. Do we attack? I think we have to attack, but if I don't... Yeah, we have to attack. The problem is they could just kill us with prowess triggers. 7 life is not a lot. They just have to cast 2 spells, any 2 spells, and they could get countered by Chalice even. We pretty much whiffed on that Thirst for Knowledge. Crap. 1 spell doesn't do it, but Lava Dart is not 1 spell. Dang it. So yeah, maybe I was supposed to keep Wormcoil back, but I shouldn't have played the island before playing the Thirst. My thought process was like, oh, well, if I draw, a blue spell, I'm going to want to play it, but that was actually the misplay that got me there. What I should have done was played Blast Zone after the fact, but I misplayed. Dang, we were so close! And then I punted right at the end. Alright, well, we would like to play first. God, this hand is so slow. I think we have to mulligan. Okay, I feel a lot better about this hand. We will keep. We will be putting back Talisman of Dominance. Start Island, pass the turn. Come on, no 1-drop, no 1-drop, no whammies. They play Inspiring Vantage. They play Soulscar. We untap. Draw Karn. Play Chalice. Pass the turn. Really have to hope they don't have Rip Apart or a Braid or Shatter Spree. Well, plays a Mountain. They play Bauble, get a Prowess trigger. Then they play Leon and Light Scribe. They attack us for 3. We go to 18, untap. They Bauble us to see what we draw. We drew Thought-Knot Seer. So we're going to repeal Soulscar, because it's a 1-drop, and we have Chalice. I'm going to play Chalice on 0, so that there are no more Bauble shenanigans. Opponent untaps and draws. So they're holding a Soulscar they can't play. They drew a Sunbaked Canyon. We need to draw a land so we can Thought Knot and figure out what's going on. So we can know when to use our Spatial Contortion. They throw Swift Spear into the Chalice. Okay, they're going to Rip Apart, destroying the Chalice on 1. Then they hit us for 3. Okay, if we draw a land, we play Thought Knot. If we don't, we Spatial Contortion. Okay, we drew a land. Maybe the Spatial Contortion is still better. I think it's Thought Knot here. Take a look at their hand. Soulscar, Mutagenic, Lightning Bolt, Clever Lumimancer. Take Mutagenic. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. So they play Soulscar. They can Lightning Bolt and shrink our Thought Knot down to 1, which would mean we're not blocking this turn. They drew Lava Dart, which is an amazing top deck, because it gives them another whole card. They go to combat. They hit us for 4. Okay, we untap. We draw Ugin. Spatial Contortion, the Light Scribe. Pass the turn. We need to draw lands. Opponent has Clever Lumimancer, 2 unknown cards in their hand, and a Lava Dart in the grave. They attack us for 1. We take 1s. This is probably the light up the stage. Yep. Inspiring Vantage and another Lava Dart. That's bad news. We basically have to draw Blast Zone. And that doesn't even do it now with Light Scribe. We untap. Draw Condescend. Does that do anything? Not really, because they can just dart, flashback, dart. And that's 2 prowess triggers here, 2 magecraft triggers there. So this becomes a 5/6, and this becomes a 4/4, which is 10. Not to mention we're taking 2 damage. So I guess I thirst, but like, there's nothing I can draw. Yeah. We missed our land drops, and I punted in round 2. I needed to hold back the I needed to hold back the Wormcoil Engine, despite the fact that my opponent was playing Boros Charms that were lethal. The lifelink on the Wormcoil was the only thing that was going to keep us alive, and we needed to hold it back until we could answer our opponent's creatures. So I should have won this match, but because I threw game 2, we're actually we're gonna lose the league now. But God, I really dislike this deck. I dislike all prowess decks. It feels like Blue-Red was looking for a mechanic. And I know this was kind of the case, but like Blue-Red was looking for a mechanic, and Wizards was like, oh, we came up with prowess, isn't it so great? Doesn't everybody love this? And then everybody was like, wait, no, stop. And they were like, we're going to put it on everything because Blue and Red don't have a mechanic that overlaps enough. And then once they kind of realized their mistake, they were like, crap, we're going to put it in other colors. And now Red and White are better. Grumpy. Dave, I hope you enjoyed this. I did my best. I probably should have 3-2'd, but I messed up. So, didn't quite get the 3-2 for you, but I think the deck's better, slightly better than I demonstrated here today. We're definitely, I don't think, favored against the Esper control deck. I think that matchup's pretty hard. The only reason I won that is because my opponent kept a 1-lander and then made questionable decisions for the rest of the match. I don't have any adjustments to make right now. I can't really see anything else that's necessary. Maybe Meteor Golem should be 7-mana Karn because they're effectively the same thing. Except Karn sticks around as a planeswalker rather than a creature. But the creature was nice because I think it dodged Force of Negation against the control deck, so I don't really know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the last few have been earlier. And yeah, you're all wonderful human beings. Thanks for watching. Bye! Hey, just wanted to give a shout out to my patrons for the month of May. If you want to support my channel directly and have your name show up in this list, there's a link to my Patreon in the description down below. Thank you all.